Why does it feel like everyone is streaming their lives? Like we're in a modern day version of The Truman Show. I mean, it's supposed to be entertainment, but why is it starting to feel like desperation? This isn't just about content. It's about the state of the economy, parasocial relationships, and the currency of attention. Could this be a recession indicator? A trend fooled by a growing connection gap? And maybe the scariest of all, the commodification of our attention spans by larger entities through these streamers. Let's talk about it. Oh, sorry y'all, I did not mean to have y'all in the dark. I forgot to pay my light bill. You know how money is. I mean, the economy, am I right? I'm sure you've seen all these streamers popping up left, right, and center, and you may be wondering why. Well, in my opinion, I think there's three very large reasons: money, a loneliness epidemic and parasocial relationships, and larger entities slash marketers commodifying our attention.
A scheme that Todd set up.
Which also turns back into money. It's all one big loop if you really think about it, but I separated it into three sections. And in this first section, we're gonna talk all about the money.
Yeah. Don't be blowing me up, nigga. I ain't getting no.
If you haven't heard, there's a new hustle on the streets. And it's not a food delivery app, and definitely not your auntie braiding hair out of her kitchen. It's streaming. Sitting on camera for hours a day, live streaming your life. And it's not just the big streamers that we know of. There's everyday people sitting on TikTok Live, for example, talking to strangers and making money from it. And I mean, pretty decent money. But I do want to talk about some of the bigger streamers. Well, mainly one in particular right now, and that is cenat. He's everywhere. Even someone like me that doesn't even watch streamers, I know what he has going on, where he is, who he's had on his live stream. He's everywhere. He's funny, he's charismatic, he's relatable, he's also very memeable. Okay, he has a lot of memes. And he isn't like the original streamers that we first saw coming out that were streaming video games or doing reaction videos. He's streaming his life itself. His fans have seen him eat dinner, take showers, sleep. They've seen his family, his relationship. It's very personal and intimate. He feels like someone familiar, like your cousin or something, and that's a part of his draw. And streamers like him, amongst others, have influenced content creators to kind of steer more into this streaming lane. YouTubers that used to spend hours or spend money on people who would spend hours editing and filming their videos for them have slowly kind of started to transition into live streaming. It doesn't require as much planning and work hours behind the scenes, at least not in the same way. It does, though, require a lot of your time and emotional energy sitting on camera and being present and entertaining for your viewers. It's still labor, but more so emotional labor. And for a lot of streamers, it pays off. That's why you'll literally see people sleeping on live with a like goal or a gifting goal, so they're making money in their sleep. By sharing such intimate parts of themselves and their lives, they are trading that in turn for monetary value. And this is what I would call digital panhandling. Instead of standing on a corner with a sign saying, "I'm hungry, please help me," you're kind of putting yourself out there. Your stream, or I guess the gimmick of your stream, whether it is sleeping on live or eating a bunch of food or doing a crazy dance or popping fireworks in your bedroom, that is almost a sign that you're holding up saying, hey, give me money for this silly thing. I mean, I'm not saying people on the street that are panhandling are silly, because I understand, times are hard, but it's kind of similar in a way, because you're asking for money for something that isn't necessarily a real job, if that makes sense. Now, the business side and the behind the scenes and the logistics and planning, that is a job, don't get me wrong. But a lot of streamers aren't putting as much time and effort into it as some of the bigger streamers are. The people that are on live begging for galaxies.
What gifts do I need? I need the Flying Jets, work hard, play hard. I need the Party On and On, the Daddy Lion, and the Universe. Those are the only 5 I need this week.
Can y'all see it now?
That making some of the data. It worked nice. Very effective. They got everything they wanted from me.
Yo! Can I get one galaxy to turn on my computer chat? Please?
I don't believe you are putting a lot of thought and work ethic behind their content, if that makes sense. That's why I'm referring to this as digital panhandling. But I mean, there's a lot of benefit to the foolery, because a lot of these people can end up making more money on live stream than they would make at their 9 to 5. I mean, think about it. A lot of people are going to work for 8+ hours a day and leaving with a couple $100 if they're lucky. A lot of these people can make that in the span of just a couple of hours. So their desperation, their hunger, their drive to do silly things on the internet feels justified because of the money. That's why I believe that a big part of this is about the money. And also, I think it's very important to look at the target demographic for a lot of streamers. Typically, it's younger people, Gen Z people, and more specifically, young males. I mean, think about it. Whenever you see these streamers out in public being chased by their fans, it's typically large crowds of young males. So these people that are pretty young, they don't have any work experience, are seeing these people that are not too far in age from them. I mean, cenat, I think, is very young, like 23 if I'm not mistaken, and he's making a lot of money in this chosen career path. So there's a lot of young men that are pretty early on in their lives willing to hop on stream to emulate their favorite content creators and also the money that they're making. It's very money motivated. So are you losing out on privacy and peace of mind by sharing intimate details of your life on the internet? Absolutely. But is it more than you would make at your summer subway job? Absolutely. But one of the issues that comes with this is that audiences are insatiable. And if you show up on stream at a 2, the next time you need to make sure you're at a 3 and at a 4. And once you hit 10, it's like, where do you go from here? It only gets more unhinged as you go on. And we're gonna touch on this a little bit later in the video. A question I really wanna pose when it comes to the streamerfication of social media, is this a recession indicator? Think about it. During the 2008 recession, many people lost their jobs and had a reduction in income. So they had more flexibility in their schedule and a need to supplement income, which later paved the way for DoorDash, Uber, and gig economy as a whole to become the norm. Could streaming and putting ourselves out there on social media in such an intimate way be the new gig economy, like a digital gig economy, where the currency is likes and subscriptions? The digital panhandling aspect of it is built into the platforms. Hey, send me a gift and I'll shout you out. Send me subs and I'll say your username on my stream.
If you guys are gifting, everybody literally just gift one fucking sub. Here we go, Jet! RJ with the 5! Austin with the 5!
I get more Humpty or I'm the Humpty man. She get real Humpty, I make it do Humpty.
Yo.
So ugly man. Dickhead, dummy man. I should be shooting.
It is essentially begging for money in the same way you would be if you were panhandling on the street. But for some reason, this form of begging has become more normalized or even seen as entertaining, and there's a draw for people to be the one to be shouted out or to feel a connection with said streamer. It's almost as if we're yearning for some sort of human interaction. It's almost like a transaction loop. If you want to feel seen by me, the streamer, you have to interact by giving me money. And if I feel seen by you, then I'll interact by giving you more money and more gifts. It's a loop, and it benefits the streamer more than anyone. The person on the other side that feels seen feels like it's a benefit, but in reality, it's not. And that's because, as we'll cover in the next section, parasocial relationships may feel good in the moment, but in the long run, they can have negative impacts on our emotional health. People are lonely and desperate for attention and human connection, especially young people. The thing about streamers that people love is that they come off as authentic. They offer a certain background noise that makes you feel like someone else is in the room, makes you feel like you're hanging out with your friends. And because a lot of them stay on stream for so long, so often, you almost always have this constant access that you wouldn't have if they were to, say, drop a video a week. Gen Z reports the highest loneliness rates of any generation. Roughly 73% of Gen Z say they feel lonely often or always. The teens are only getting lonelier. Teenagers were reporting meeting friends at school daily fell from 52% in 1976 to 28% in 2017, leaving them with a feeling of loneliness and isolation. And since the pandemic, things have not been getting better. Young people are reporting loneliness at higher rates. They're going out and hanging out with friends in person off of social media at lower rates as well. And think about the young people before the pandemic that were just starting to learn those communication and connection skills. They were at that prime age when you start making friends and going out and hanging out, and then they spent years of their life isolated. That doesn't just change overnight. So when you see these people that are able to kind of connect with you and make you feel seen, you're gonna latch on and do whatever you can to further that false connection that you're feeling. And oftentimes, that means giving up money, whether it be through paying for a subscription to watch them on different platforms, sending them gifts, buying their merch, or even going out and buying the products that they're selling. It all ties back to wanting to feel like you're a part of a bigger community. The lack of friend groups for a lot of young people are being replaced by live streams and the chat.
Chat. Yo, chat. Yo, chat. Chat. Here we go, chat. Chat.
The chat is the new friend group. The chat and the live streams are the new digital third spaces. That's another topic of conversation recently, the lack of third spaces for people in general, not just young people, to go and hang out with friends and meet people outside of work, school, or our homes. The need for connection and wanting to be around our age mates or people with similar interests doesn't go away. And when we take away these spaces, it just shifts to whatever is the easiest to access at the moment, and obviously the internet and social media is that. Parasocial interaction theory describes how people come to view creators as friends despite zero reciprocity. We share our deepest evening thoughts in their chats, but they'll never text us back. These aren't real relationships or friendships. They're performing emotional labor, and that feeling that we're trying to get from them will never be returned. Parasocial relationships aren't real, but they're familiar enough that sometimes they feel like they could be. The quiet buzz of the chat makes us feel like someone's here, makes us feel like we're not alone, which for a lot of humans is our biggest fear. The rise of pay-to-be noticed features on TikTok, Kick, Twitch, etc. are exploitative measures to make you feel more seen, more invested, to feel closer to the person that you're watching. Ultimately, so you'll give them more money. I mean, that's one of the main goals. But these pseudo friendships that people are building with their favorite streamers clearly aren't real. I mean, think about it. When people see their favorite streamers out in public, let's say at the mall, they're not going up to them like you would to a friend and asking how they're doing. How's your day going? How have you been? I haven't seen you in a while. They don't treat them like people. They treat them like products because at the end of the day, that's what they are. They chase them down like it's the last air fryer in Walmart on Black Friday. They want to take pictures with them. They harass them. They treat them like a commodity, you know, just so they can take that picture or video and post it on social media and say, hey guys, look at this cool thing I did, so that they can foster more fake relationships with other people on social media that also don't really care about them. The amount of money and effort and time that we put into these streamers as if they are our IRL friends, it just doesn't add up. And another thing I don't understand is how these people are so influential. I mean, for a lot of people, if a streamer tells you to buy something or to go support something or someone, you will. And something about that feels sinister. Let's talk about it.
Girl, you got my attention, all of my attention, yes.
The commodification of our attention. We don't just watch live streamers anymore. We oftentimes actively invest in them in more ways than we realize. Emotionally, financially, and even politically. Streamers aren't just entertainers anymore, they're tools for product promotion, for narrative shaping, and even for political influence. Okay, let's think about this. Back in the day, we used to have our favorite shows come on once a week. And while we were watching the show, let's say 30 minutes to an hour, there were multiple commercial breaks scattered throughout the show. Then we went to streaming platforms where they were dropping entire seasons of a show all at once. And we started being able to binge watch shows a lot more easily. Fast forward to today, a lot of people, including myself, talk about how it's hard for them to even watch a 30-minute show without also doing other things like scrolling on TikTok or Instagram, for example. Our attention spans are getting shorter and shorter, especially for younger people. But oddly enough, it seems like streamers have found a formula to get people to lock in on their streams for hours at a time. And marketers and larger entities have noticed, and they've begun to leverage that attention that these streamers are pulling in. Streamers these days are not just influencers or entertainers, they are cultural validators. If cenat has someone on his stream, for example, that person now has millions and millions of eyes on them. And if they're with their favorite streamer, then they must be cool, they must be entertaining. Now you're on cenat's stage and you have my full attention for hours. Streamers often set trends. They tell us what products are hot, what artists are hot. I mean, think about it. A few years ago, these A-list celebrities wouldn't even be seen with someone like cenat or any of the other streamers. And that's no shade to him. It's just that for a very long time, influencers or social media personalities were looked down upon. Now, they're celebrities that are begging to come on these live streams.
We heard about it, but I was heard about the first one, and I'm like, damn, man, these niggas in the city, they over there sleeping in the bed. Like, I want to sleep in the bed too. I don't mean there with you. I mean, I want my own bunk. Kevin Hart got a bunk. Drewski got a bunk. Nigga, this a big night. This one of the biggest nights. I want to sleep too, my nigga. That's all. That's how I was saying it. Oh, I'm sorry.
Okay, well, hey, listen.
So is it good? Am I coming? Like, do I get, like, is it a possibility?
Wait, hold on. We gotta see some more streams from you, some more grinding, and then it's a possibility. We go.
How? None of these other niggas be streaming?
Because they know that these streamers have the ability to give you a level of visibility and eyes on you that you wouldn't have without them, especially for the younger generation that's coming in and, you know, starting to get jobs and make money. It's an untapped market and it's highly being tapped into now, but at one point it was an untapped market. These streamers are doing what our commercials used to do. Like I said, we had commercial breaks scattered throughout our shows, but now these streamers are like walking commercials in a much more subtle way.
What bag you got? Oh!
We got the Any Means Orange, tap in.
Orange!
We got that Any Means Orange, tap in.
You telling me I can go
Yo, gang, I went to the QT. I cleared the whole thing out.
Wait, you're telling me I go to a nerd gas station and see this shit?
Yeah, bro. That's so crazy. That's so crazy, man.
When you see these streamers like AMP, for example, sleeping over in Target, or you have these musicians coming on the streams coincidentally right before that album is about to drop. It's a way for them to market to us and give us their commercial pitch without it being so interruptive and glaring, like a billboard on the side of the road or a commercial that's interrupting my morning cartoons. Streamers are extremely influential, not just monetarily. They oftentimes can influence the way we view dating, relationships, gender roles, race, politics, and so much more. And politicians know this. In the 2024 election, both parties paid influencers and streamers like Hassan Piker, Joe Rogan to engage with Gen Z voters. We live in such a time where people trust people, and influencers are people. And I found this really interesting research article leveraging live streaming to enrich influencer marketing. It was published in late 2024, and I want to share some key points that stood out to me throughout this article. Live streaming creates the illusion of authenticity. Unlike pre-recorded, polished content, live streaming feels real, spontaneous, unedited, and personal. Liveness meets Gen Z's desire for transparency and honesty more than any other form of content. Real-time interactivity builds deeper bonds. Viewers can chat, get acknowledged, and shape the content while it's happening. This increases trust and engagement. Gen Z is highly resistant to traditional ads, using ad blockers and premium subscriptions to avoid being sold to. Live streaming circumvents this wall by embedding promotion inside real-time, friend-like interactions. Streamers function as dynamic ad space and human validators. You're not watching a brand, you're watching someone you like interact with said brand. In 2023, XQC signed a $100 million non-exclusive streaming deal with Kick, more than LeBron James's $97 million Lakers contract. This part of the footage somehow disappeared, but essentially, we can see that streamers are very influential. So if we have them going on their streams and spewing hateful comments about women, for example, you know, like that red pill sort of content, then that can affect the young, very impressionable male minds that are watching their content. Followers will log out and spew the same rhetoric in real life, and women in real life are facing this in real time, dating these young men that have been indoctrinated with red pill content. For example, streamers like Aiden Ross, who went from streaming silly, goofy things to hosting people like Andrew Tate and saying extremely problematic things on his live streams in general.
Like, first of all, chat, I swear to God, it's a true story. I was drunk as fuck one night. I forgot if I was with Cheezer, I forgot who I was with. And I swear to God, chat, my Uber driver was a fucking girl. I was drunk, I said, oh, it's a girl, canceled it, right in her face, too.
What'd she say? I wasn't there, what'd she say?
I don't know if, I think it was Jordan. She just said, wow, or something like that.
Oh God, that's something you would do when you're drunk.
Well, bro, I don't want a girl driving me around.
Crazy.
Chat, I'm paying for fucking Uber Black. I'm not paying for a fucking, you know, I should get a half off if it's a girl.
Or even the streamer Neon. I recently saw a compilation of all of the racist things that this man has said on his streams.
Black people, I will whip you, and stupid whore, dumb black monkey tree, something. No one in front of people that lost their lives on 9/11. That's you dumb black. I don't know what motherfuckers think this is, bro, but this is not Section 8, bro. This is not Section 8. This is not the hood. I'm not trying to be weird, but this is not that, bro. This is not a place where motherfuckers who usually sleep next to cockroaches can sleep in a nice house in the hills, bro.
Like,
what's your least favorite race?
I don't have a least favorite race.
Yeah, right. Okay.
I don't have.
What's your worst experience with a race? For me, I have a really bad story, but.
What's your story?
Some black guy tased my dad and robbed him of $50,000.
Is that a real story?
I swear to God. And then another black.
Like in what?
I don't mean to be
situation?
racist. And another black guy. My dad fired her, or it was a girl. He fired her because she's lazy and just stupid.
Wow.
So basically, what happened was she came late for work. He fired her, and then she came with her boyfriend and robbed the entire place. His cell phone store. I swear to God.
So you just now you just make assumptions that it's
Yeah,
just...
and then like every time my mom sees a black guy, she locks the door. It's fucked up.
Okay.
I know Steve agrees with me on that one. No, you don't love them.
No, he loves them.
Oh, okay.
And the fact that he has not been canceled or that his platform has not been completely removed is very concerning to me, because he is saying, I mean, blatantly racist and disrespectful comments about Black people on his platforms. And a lot of his viewers, a lot of his supporters see nothing wrong with it and more than likely agree with his rhetoric. I mean, think about this. Think about a 12-year-old that's watching someone like this who really doesn't know left from right, right from wrong. Seeing this man, mind you, he's not white, he's a person of color. He's making a ton of money, he has a ton of supporters, a ton of followers. Why would he not follow those same footsteps and start spewing those things in real life and develop these feelings about Black people in real life? He doesn't know any better. His mind is very mushy and still developing. But it doesn't matter. They will still get brand deals. They will still be supported because, like I said, it always ties back to money, okay? The brands don't care as long as you can bring in the money. And that's kind of concerning. So what does this look like for the future? I mean, is this sustainable? It only can get worse from here, because in order to keep the attention of the people, you kind of have to become more over the top in a way. And even for the everyday people that are streaming and begging for galaxies and roses on the internet, I mean, what does it look like for them? As cringy as it may seem, they are really just a sign of the times, a sign of the economy plummeting, a sign of the job market being unstable. Social media is only reflecting reality in a way. So what do we do now? I don't know. I have no idea. What I do know is that the most radical thing we can do right now is log off. Log off and go touch some grass. Okay? Go paint something. Go knit. Go for a run. Go pet the turtles at the pet store. Go do something off of the internet, at least every once in a while. Social media seems like it's here to stay. Okay? And I understand that. And you know what? I even respect it, because here I am on a social media platform. So a part of me also enjoys it. But just every once in a while, we should take some time away and go touch grass. That's all I'm saying. I would love to hear what you guys think. Do you watch streamers? Why so? And if not, why not? I would love to hear your opinions in the comment section down below. Thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to hit the subscribe button, the like button, and the notification bell. And if you want to support the channel, go ahead and check out my Patreon. I mean, you know, it's just like a little, hey, I see you, I like what you're doing, here's $2. And I appreciate it. Thank you guys so much for watching. I'll see you guys next week. Bye-bye.